Hi folks, this is all the fruit. As you can see, autumn is coming. That means it's time to harvest the tasty rose hips. I'm here on my cliffs in Heidelberg, Germany. Already did most of the work here. And now it's time for the fun. As you can see, I have left a couple of rose bushes standing here where I cut the grass. And on this slope alone I have three different species of roses. Rosa candida, Rosa gallica, and this here is Rosa arvensis. And I'm leaving them because they're pretty useful for wildlife. Like the flowers are very good, the flowers are very good for insects, the fruit are very good for various animals, especially birds. The seeds are very good for little rodents and stuff like that. And also they are not as invasive as the brambles and other stuff I cut here. They basically keep their shape when you cut around them twice a year. So this species here is Rosa arvensis. Very few people, even in Germany, if they are not botanists or botany enthusiasts, know about that species. It's not very rare, but it's not very obvious or prevalent. However, when you look at it, you'll realize you really cannot confuse it with all those roses from the canine group, or also with Rosa gallica or other more common roses here. It has those little rose hips where the sepals usually fall off pretty early. Here you can see the sepals on the non-pollinated flowers. Those flowers basically died and the sepals got preserved, while the ones which are pollinated, where the fruit developed, the sepals basically fall off. Okay, now. Well, when eating rose hips, you have to be careful. In the center of the rose hips, there are the seeds, and around the seeds there is a sort of itching powder. You put this powder in somebody's clothes, it's gonna itch forever. And if you eat the wrong part of the fruit, your mouth and your throat will sting forever. Well, the fruit are pretty small, so you have to be pretty careful when eating them. Well, why do people bother to collect such small fruit? I mean, the rose hips are quite a popular food, not even for survivalists, but especially in poorer countries in Eastern Europe, they are being harvested in large amounts and even exported. Well, there are several reasons. First, they are available throughout Europe and a lot of other continents. They are available in huge amounts. As you can see here, we have hundreds, maybe thousands of fruit on one shrub. Then they are very tasty. They are free. Usually they grow wild somewhere. And they are very, very, very rich in vitamin C. Roses are among the most vitamin C rich fruit in the world. Much, much, much higher content of vitamin C than, for example, lemons. I did not look up the vitamin content of Rosa arvensis, but I'm sure it's impressive. So how can you harvest rose hips? Well, if you want to process them somehow later, it's best to harvest the ripe but still hard ones. If you want to eat them out of hand, what I'm intended now, it's good to look for the soft ones. And when you look for the soft ones, it's good to avoid the rotten ones. Here you can see a ripe one which is not yet soft, a couple which are turning soft, and the dark one which is already rotten and which I wouldn't recommend to try. Then you take the little rose hip. See where the fruit broke off the stem? Okay, I hope this is still good. I don't really like those bubbles coming out, but basically you have to suck there, but not with too much force, or you'll suck out the seeds and the itching powder. Actually, it's still good despite the bubbles. So, I sucked out some of the flesh. Now, I will press harder to show you the seeds with the itching powder. Here is one of the seeds, and I think you can see the little hairs around it. And they do not only look like cactus clockets, they are also quite painful. Not as hard and sharp and thick as cactus clockets, but still painful enough. So basically, you take the fruit and either press carefully or suck carefully. And this is what you want. This is basically like the really nice and very popular rose hip jam, but with a little bit less sugar. Yeah. Tastes exactly like it, just a bit less sweet. Well, it is basically the rose hip jam minus the added sugar. Mind you, they already do have a lot of sugar, but usually for reasons of taste and this is not good anymore. For reasons of taste and preservation, people tend to add some extra sugar. Yeah, this one is good. Let's hope it works well enough with this one too. So here, if you are careful enough not to suck or squeeze out the seeds with the itching powder, you can actually enjoy ready-made rose hip jam while hiking the countryside. So folks, this was Rosa arvensis from my cliffs in Heidelberg, Germany. Now I have to go back to work. Stay tuned for a lot more fruit videos from the beautiful city of Heidelberg. And don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe.